Hey Scooby, I saw no one really reviewed your game, so I wanted to take a look at it. I'm a console like mid-masters player, kind of pushing top 500. I don't really play Hog, so I might not be like the most helpful in terms of matchups, but I don't think the problem here is exactly the Ramatra matchup. So I kind of like wanted to start by just like kind of showing you something. So we'll just like increase the speed and just okay. So 36 has gone by. That's fine. I'm slowing it down for this thing. Great play there. Really great to look past the Ramatra for a hook. But now watch this. Okay. Still up in the fight. Even in the fight. We have better spawns too. And Moira's back. We kill her again. We're up in the fight. Mid on main heals. Okay. So 2 minutes go by. Card stays here. You open with a pick on like their main healer, right? And you're just playing like, if we go back like a minute, we'll go back 2 minutes. This is just so we can see where everyone is. So like a big part of tanking is people say like creating space. What that means is like making people move away from good spots so your team can go there. Usually the reason they move is because if they don't, you'll kill them. And if they don't move, you kill them, right? But you see how like you don't really, like this whole time, you don't really move pretty much anywhere? Like we're just kind of like behind the payload and occasionally trying to get a hook. And then this fight is only settled because it's gold with almost everyone using their ult. Okay? And if we skip to... We gotta kind of go. Yada, yada, yada. If we skip to your overtime push, watch it from your perspective.
I never had one.
I believe I have pictures. Stay near, will you? I hate when people run off without me.
Can kind of bring this down here because I don't need that much. Bear with me. We're at a minute on the clock, right? It's basically the same thing, right? So we're kind of like playing really passive, which isn't necessarily a problem on Hog. I'm not like, again, I'm not like a Hog expert. But you need to also open up space. Like get aggressive, open up a different angle. Especially versus Ramatra, because he can kind of just sit here, right? And he just spams you, does a lot of DPS. He has a lot of sustain when he goes into Nemesis form, and he can also cycle that with his shield, right? And he kind of wants you to move in this like linear way, like through an alley. Like, let's get to where the card is. Like through this angle and this angle, right? Do you see how there's like a corridor here, right? So the fundamental problem that's going on is like we kill their Moira and then I've been watching in fast motion. This looks slow motion to me now. We kill their Moira and then we don't really get aggressive enough. We have a heal advantage, right? We have Kiri with Suzu. We need to be looking to open our angle up, like open a space up for a team. So they can't just do what they do, especially with the Yari turret, and just kind of sit here. They're in bad spots, right? But like, you kind of chill here, and it's good to use cover. I'm not like, I think that's pretty good. It gets bad on defense. Um, but it makes you like really easy to shield, and I wonder if you've been like edging your way here even. Going for this kind of thing, probably even this kind of thing. And you can always like heal and back off. That is what Hog wants, is like these sort of corners where you can like duck around a corner and vape, and then he's like back on the flank again. It's like really annoying, right? And especially right here, like their Sojourn is like way out of the fight, right? This is a 3v5 currently. Yeah. Or even just, walking past that and trying to take this corner would be pretty good. Make the Ramatra turn around and worry about you, because he has to. Yeah? So we're just kind of playing just really passive. We could have hooked probably that ER there. The one thing I do know about this matchup is kind of you're trying to be aware shield, and you're kind of trying to force Nemesis, and then force him to block, and then hook him when he blocks, because he can't block it. And you just drop him off, and you do one of these hooks, and then drop him to your side, right? And your team just wails on him, and he dies, because he's in a bad spot. Especially because at this rank, like, the Matras will block when they're low. So I've been holding it a little, and just been a little more patient with that hook. Yeah? So that's like the main thing, is we're just kind of passive here. I want to skip until after this. Right? Here this is pretty good. Why don't we just walk and we do a shitload of damage up close, right? We can always like come here maybe. But just anything to open this angle, deal with this turret would be really good for us. It's part of the reason they stay around so long. Like, that's a great play. We just need to do that like a minute ago, right? 2 minutes ago. Maybe it's from like earlier balance patches, but you seem really scared of getting blown up. And I can kind of understand why, because later in this game we'll see like this is a good hook too. Just a little rush with the hook. I like that you went for that one. Again, we just can give space here. We killed someone, our Genji's in. We separate the Ramada from this team. That's just my like instinct. Until we get our hook. And we can like hook him in and kill him, right? That's one play. The other thing we could do is just like vape around here. Go for these guys. Yeah? Go for even just like that heal turret. We just need to like open up space when we're up in this. We go in with our Genji. Like, he kind of fed, right? Also, you're just ignoring that turret. I want a different fast forward speed. Like that. Okay. I want to look at it like this. Like, so the problem here is they're all they have to do is look this way, right? These guys are going to round a corner. Now, like, it's a little like on your DPS, right? Like, it really helps if you have, like, a Genji go up here, let's say, right? And look to just, like, drop in. If he'd done that with his blade, or gone over the top here, probably would have been a lot more effective. But you also can do something about that, okay? And that's, like, the important thing to realize. Is, like, again, from this position here, we could be going for this, right? This is the second hardest choke to break. Although it's hard to fight here if you get stuck there. The other thing you could have done when you won a fight is gone around a corner here and then kind of like being over here. Like lurking a bit and go for a one shot for a second. Or just pull the Ramacho back. You vape, you drop down, there's a Mega here, right? It's actually really annoying to play against. And then you could like come back up. You could vape, come around, go behind. That's like really aggressive, but it might be warranted if you're having trouble, which you are in this game, like kind of getting them to move from a location where they could just like spam. They have a lot of spam damage between the Ramacha, the ERA, and the Sojourn, like compared to your team, right? And even just Mora puts out like general spam and AoE heals, right? So they can, like they're doing, they can kind of stick together and all look in one direction. Their job's like pretty easy, right? I'm not saying it's necessarily the right play, but it could help. And here we just walk, right? I think it's more or less the right idea. More on your Genji than you, but if you had opened out some sort of angle so they were a little more looking over here when the Genji did that, maybe his blade would have worked. Not on you. It's more like when things happen, right? Because your team is gonna do something like, what could you possibly do to help with them? That's kind of mentality. I like that hook. Out of your range, you could have gotten a Sojourn probably, but I like that you're looking for it. What I don't like is we have plenty of vape here. We just pause and vape. We're just not aware of our health there, yeah. So, all that said, I don't want to dwell too much on stuff. We'll look quickly at because then you start rolling them, right? Let's look at a fight that goes well. I think it's a fine hook, a little slightly poor execution. You could have just been standing a little further back. Ah, yeah, there's the turret. We could be doing this and eating way less damage from here. Peeking. We're wide on this, and we really need to be aware of this Sojourn, especially because these DPS, they can debuff us, right? And then our vape doesn't work as well. Okay, use a Suzu. That's fine. We still have the Sojourn all. We just rushed our hook there. Right idea. Great hook. We just need to take an extra second to line it up on easy shots. We're missing a lot of easy hooks. Yeah. I can't tell you much about the mechanics of a hook other than that it's a flick. I like that you're pushing up here. So what worked about this? well, the ult trade. Like, they're about to make a dumb decision, but then you get the pick, you walk up and make a planner backline, right? And you keep walking forward. We're not going in a very creative angle here, but we kind of don't need to, right? Here, I'd even be like around here looking for a hook, because his can love coming up here, yeah. But you're gonna get this capped. Okay. This is part of the reason you win this is just stagger. I like solo ulting the tank with your ult. The one thing I will say with your ult is like, well, you just use suffer. One thing you can do on Hog, I do play some Ramatra, and like the annoying Hogs are the ones who save their ult for my ult. But he seems to be kind of dumb, so maybe you don't need to do that. There's like maybe one time where I was like, I wish you just saved your ult. Yeah. We walk forward. Great. We get a good hook. Max range hook. Fine. So we're like... It annoys me that Hog can do this. But look at you relative to the other team. Like just their line of sight, right? There's no cover here. You're not going to do anything to them at this range without your hook. So you're really just eating damage. Kaz started that fight at like, I don't even know, like 40% ult charge. He's at 70, yeah. Sojourn, I think, got a crap load of ult charge from that too. And you're dead, right? Like, these guys shouldn't be standing here. You're like right about that. But the way you do that is either we close the distance, go for the hook on the Kaz. We go maybe over here, and it's harder for them to spam you without committing outside of here, in line of sight your team. The other thing, though, is just like, it's gold. Look at your team. This is, unfortunately, like the default play in gold, yeah? And they're all just riding payload. Like, you killed their tank, they're riding payload, right? So, I think it's fine to, like, walk up and go for this hook. A little over committed. I think I would have just kept the would have hugged this corner and kept it, so I don't get low on health, right? And I can just keep shooting, like jiggle shooting, and go for a hook here. The problem here is that you walk sort of wide and go for this hook, and so you take like a ton of damage. Yeah. I would have just kept this, shot down here, a little further out, so they can't round this corner. And when I got here, I would have looked around at my team. Oh, they're all like payload princesses. Fine. I'll play passive. From this position, you go for this wide hook, which is, it's high risk, high reward, right? From there, it's tough. I'll probably close back to here. So just like, oh, we don't need to die there, yeah? More ults. They killed their tank. It's kind of wasted ults. I like that you go a different way here. But you're playing Hog, yeah? Independent. You don't need your whole team to file in with you. If they do, establish the main and then look for the off angle for your hook. Maybe look for an early hook. We got this. We get this, I would just march to here. They're already out. We need to get the point up toward us, right? The Kitsune's going this way, not the best. I'd like march to here and look to hook probably their tank like around a corner here. See if we can kill him. So they're so backed off. But yeah, as a tank, the read you need to make is like where are most people and like how do I kind of make some separation, make some space. They're back there. I want them back there. They can't do shit as long as my team can cross. So I take this angle. I'm trying to take this one, right? But even from here, I think you can hook Cass, or you already here probably. We separate this tank, right? And then keep these guys back. Again, just kind of bad, unfortunately. So we come to the position I was talking about, but mostly you see how I'm playing kind of wide? Really tight here, and really like keeping track of who's dead, who's not, yeah. And from here, like, we had 2 people dead. I don't mind this aggressive posture for a little, but we want to back off and be behind a payload by now. See if we can get it up a little further at least. And probably drop back. Now we do get ults out. But I'm not sure if that's like because you made a good play, right? Now their tank feeds, it's their tank's turn to feed. Now do you see why does work? They're overextended for one. But also, your team's on main here. You're on an off angle, and you get this easy hook on a Moira, who's tunneled onto the Ramatra. Probably could have gotten a kill. Like, and the reason that worked is, I mean, look at what happens. See how Sojourn turns to look at you? Moira's backed off because you hooked her. Yeah. Iari's feeling threatened. She backs off. So Madra, he thinks his team's coming in with him to run these guys down, right? Easy squishes in front of him. But you're providing pressure from another angle, and it works, yeah? So I'm just trying to show you, you do it, right? It's just like not all the time. Here I thought you maybe we're gonna lose, but we don't. Now we got stagger going on. I would absolutely be going for a hook on our Matra, try and get him around this corner as deep as I can. Especially because he blew his shield, right? He blows his shield like way up like that. We can just like walk on him, try and force Nemesis, and go for a hook. Or just hook him, force Nemesis early, right? Just a little rushed. Yeah, like that. I really like using your ult to get point here. The only thing about this is just kind of the read, which is just like at some point you should hide over here probably and just check on what's going on. Where's my team? They're all on payload. But, you know, you'd want to know if someone was like over here or up there or over there or whatever. And how far is the payload? And then the read is just like, are these guys actually going to try and touch? Yeah. And Ramadra blows Nemesis to try and touch. They blow 2 ults. You blow this. And then all you needed to do, this thing has a long range and it knocks back and spreads, like the longer the range is. All you need to do is be here. Right? Or even better yet, like here. Where you can shoot their tank, get him away. So the biggest touch threat, anyone else who's going to touch has to walk a little forward. And you don't take so much goddamn damage, right? But the right idea. It's just a little bit of positioning, right? I love that you chase down this Cass. on this off angle, right? Because most of their team is out here. Probably could have killed him. Right here, we just walk to this. He's got to get the hell out of dodge, right? Their Matra sees it, so he's looking this way. Your team spans their team for free, right? Plus you have your self-heal. So we just revert to our, like, passive thing, yeah? This time the Genji does it. And here we're just up in a fight. So I think maybe I'd describe this problem as like, this is fine what you're doing. Is like, it's kind of tunneling the point and the other tank like too much. Right? Instead of like kind of looking at the whole map and kind of where everyone is and what you might be able to do about that. Yeah? So let's look at D. It's a slightly different problem. Let's see how long I've been taking on this. Oh, pretty good. It's short for me. But I hope you see what I mean of like, it's just kind of like you're not really making plays, certainly not making space by just playing this like super passive style. And sometimes it's appropriate. Like if there's a tank you trade really well into you. Can't think of any off the top of my head, but there are some. There's a tank you really trade well into that's like a little more scared of you. Then that can totally work. Like a dive tank, like a ball, like a diva, doesn't want to get hooked by you, right? A Winston. Then their whole problem is they need to go in and out, and if you just sit on payload, like you can just push it, right? And they have to find a way to get on everyone else or get you guys to spread apart. But against this kind of team, where it's like kind of spam, kind of brawl, it just doesn't work so well. Yeah.